Folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the coming week. This is Bob Desmond, and we're going to talk about our 5 top picks for the new trading week. They are CRWD, FEYE, BA, Boeing, OPI, and SHYF, the Shift Group. So these are the charts that we like to the long side, but I'll be honest with you, I already did the week ahead commentary with members, giving my analysis of the overall market and where I think that we're going this coming week. I'm not all that optimistic. I'm kind of still in that bear camp, market neutral bias with an eye on the short side. How did our week go last week? We did very well. Our gold stock position went up dramatically. We're long of the leveraged ETF, NUGT, putting you long of the gold miners, and we are long of the GDXJ, the junior miners. They did very, very well. They were down on Friday, but no big deal. They were up net on the week. Silver was up on the week. We saw a bit of a fade there, but still up on the week. Our silver mining trade did well. We have a short position on Shake Shack. That's doing well. And we have a Strangle. That's an options strategy where we've sold out of the money put and call options on Microsoft, generating cash flow. We have roughly a 50% profit in that trade. I tried to close it out for profit on Friday. They wouldn't take my offer. So I'll try again early this coming week, and we'll exit that trade for, again, a 50% plus profit on that. So let's begin with the announcement. Tomorrow night, Sunday Night Futures Live on YouTube. As we do every Sunday night, we go live. Get notified 15 minutes to a half hour by entering your email address on one of 2 lists. One is my 5-part video tutorial on technical analysis, or the second one, if you don't want that 5-part video tutorial, it's simply an alert opt-in form. You get alerted 15 minutes to a half hour prior to us going live. Only enter your email address once so you don't get multiple emails. You'll get mad at me because we hate spam too. So now let's head on over and take a look at our 5 top stocks for the new trading week. We're going to be using the algorithms of TrendSpider, which is our sponsor, link below, 35% discount code to help identify support and resistance levels. We'll check out seasonality as well on these names. So let's begin with SHYF, the Shift Group. I've never heard of them. So they did come up on our scanner. We're going to go over a weekly chart first. And when you take a look at this weekly chart, you can see that we became extended back in March. Now, you would have known to get out of this trade if you had the automated trend line functionality on a weekly time frame. We'll click the button, and you could see that we hit the rising upper band of resistance in red. Here's your lower band in blue. And in green, you have another resistance level. So this is a classic get out signal, because not only did we hit resistance, we were flirting with the 3rd standard deviation Bollinger Band right above. Now, we've pulled back, consolidated, very nice. We had a bullish key reversal bar on a weekly time frame. The week of May the 2nd, continuation move up higher. The following week, last week, was a retest of a breakout point. I really like this setup here because we have a reversal bar. Now, what we want to do is identify and memorialize where our support levels are and where our resistance levels are. And as you can see, we're setting up for a nice W formation. And we're just shy of the pivot point being the high of the week of April the 12th, and that was at 39.68 on the Shift Group. So I'm going to set up a couple of alerts here. One, I want to know if we break out. And we'll keep this active for a couple of weeks. So our alert here is set. I have a long or add, meaning ideally we get a retest of this lower band of support here in green. But that may or may not happen. So we may just have to wait for the breakout to open up a position. But we could do 2 things here. Frankly, I like this my second thought better. We have rising support levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an alert at the rising 21 period exponential moving average. Now, this alert may not fire off next week, but given the fact that this is a rising support level, it may get hit weeks from now. So we'll keep this active for 30 days. And there you have it. And we'll set up another alert here. Again, weekly time frame. Just in case we do pull back. Keep a little bit of sensitivity on. And we'll keep this active for a couple of weeks. So we have 3 alerts set here. Now for the daily chart, you can see on the daily chart the value of the automated trend lines. Take them off. Without them, you might have said, you know what, looks like we're probably going to head up higher, and we just may. The however is, and this is why you really want to wait for a pullback or a breakout, the however is this, is that the automated trend lines are picking up resistance. All right, they tried to break it out on Friday. They were unable to. Perhaps they'll do it on Monday, Tuesday, whatever. But we don't want to hope that we get a breakout. We want to know that we get a breakout. So I'm going to create another alert here. And all I care about is a breakout. All right, there's my note to myself. And we'll keep it active for 10 days. I like the RSI, which is rising. Volume could have been a bit better on Friday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Very good volume, institutional accumulation. Friday, that dropped down, and that's why you saw a failed breakout on Friday. Now, taking a look at seasonality, the month of May and June, biased to the upside. No huge edge for us here. July is a horrible month. It's the worst month of the year. So that's a good bit of data to have at our disposal. So just beware. If you enter this trade, July is a very rough month. You may want to exit that swing trade once you hit resistance levels and then move to the sidelines. Now, the next chart up is CrowdStrike Holdings, CRWD. Very nice chart. We've done analysis on this one in the past. As a matter of fact, let's bring up our annotations, which I saved. And there you go. So I think the last time I went over this chart was back here, and we had failed to hold the breakout point. Now we've had a pullback, rally, another pullback, and last week we began to inch up higher. What's significant about this pullback here is that our low was a higher low versus the prior low seen back in March. That is significant, and it's very bullish. So there is our support level. We know exactly where we would need to stop out if we fail to hold that support level. Now, we also have some data points that we want to memorialize here. Here is resistance. We're not that far away from it. Now, I do like the fact that we closed above this volume shelf right here at around the 202.72 mark. So what I want to do is I want to memorialize this, because if we get a pullback next week and we retest 198.25, well, then that would be an interesting level at which to add. But the market needs to be strong. My concern about the market right now is that it's fading. You're seeing leading stocks like Apple, Amazon, they're breaking down. Microsoft, breaking down. So when you see that, you need to be very, very careful about getting long with the market, because you don't want to fight the market. We'll talk about that more tomorrow night on Sunday Night Futures Live. Again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. It's free. It's on YouTube. So let's create an alert here. And if we happen to get hit, that would be great. And we'll keep this active for 30 days. I really like this stock. All right, so our alert is set. Let's drill down to a daily chart. Really good daily price action. You can see that carried through my alert to the daily chart, and we have resistance above. Good volume on Friday. RSI is rising. Very healthy daily chart. Let's check out seasonality. I don't know how much data there is. I don't think there's much. Yeah, there's only 2 years worth of data here. So not good to use a thin data when you're planning a strategy using seasonality. So we're going to skip seasonality for CRWD, because that could lure you into a false sense of security, and we don't want that. I like to use at a minimum 7 years to 10 years worth of data for us to use seasonality. FEYE, F-E-Y-E. This is in the same space as CrowdStrike, so we're not going to be trading both of these. Now, I spoke about FEYE last week. This is on our list of watch stocks, and it did move higher. I just didn't like the market. So I didn't execute on a breakout on this stock. In fact, we didn't get the retest that I wanted last week. So I have an alert. I have 2 alerts that still set here. So what we'll do here is this. If this market finally begins to, you could see where the share stalled right at the pivot point of this W formation. So what we want to do here before we got long, we want to see a breakout or a pullback and a retest where we already have alerts set up from last week. I don't want any sensitivity. All we care about is a close above resistance on a breakout. We'll keep this active for 30 days. Daily chart. A bit of reversal bar on Friday. Volume rose to the downside. That's a little bit concerning. And this is consistent with the rest of the market. And this is why I'm somewhat skeptical about this market, is that you saw very good price action on Wednesday, Thursday, and then on Friday, a fade. You could argue that it got ahead of itself. Sure, okay. It hit resistance. Obviously, it did. We already went over that. But the market as well had strong price action on Thursday, but it faded. So are we seeing a correlation with FEYE in the market? It's highly probable. Most stocks trade with the overall index. And Friday was not a great day. We gapped up higher, faded on the day. So a little bit of a warning flag on the track, not just for FEYE, but for all stocks in general. The next chart up, Boeing. Now, Boeing last week had a very good week in that it broke out of this descending wedge formation or triangle formation. And you can see we also, if you use the automated trend lines, we broke out above a second resistance level as well. So very strong price action last week. We were stopped at resistance. So what I want to do is I want to create an alert on any pullback. Now you may be asking, what is this S1 of 2? I'm going to answer for that in a moment. You'll see I'm going to include here a breakthrough as well. So touch, bounce, or breakthrough. We're going to keep this active for a month. Now let's discuss S1 of 2. Many times when you get a breakout of a descending wedge or descending triangle formation, you get a retracement back down to this line in red, which marks the breakout or the prior upper band of resistance. Traders want to know, technicians like me want to know that what was once resistance is now going to act as support. So the shares will pull back and they'll retrace. So what we'll want to do here is create a second alert. I don't care so much about a breakthrough now. I just care about a touch, bounce, and we'll keep a little bit of sensitivity, not much. There we go. Okay, so S2 of 2. This is support level number 2 that would be eyeballing as really, really good support from a risk-reward perspective. So our alerts are set here on Boeing. Volume last week was light. Daily chart. You can see it on a daily chart. We'll take off the automated trend lines, put them back on. Daily breakout as well on Friday. Let's check out seasonality. There's a lot of data here. We'll go back initially 21 years. And you can see that May through August, kind of like the summer doldrums for Boeing. So no great edge until you get to August. If you see a sell-off in August, you certainly want to revisit Boeing, because then you get into a seasonally favorable, excluding October, a seasonally favorable period of time. Now, this is to 2000. Let's go back to 2011 and see whether or not we get a change in seasonality. And you do, this time of year becomes a little bit better, May, June. The however here is that August these past few years have been very, very weak, but that makes for a good setup if you get in at the lows of the month and then are long going into September, October. October improves versus the 21-year view. November very strong, December not too bad, and then really great February. So not a huge edge here in terms of seasonality. So nothing in our back pocket to help give us an edge to the long side. So everything is based right now on our technical opinion of Boeing. Looks pretty good. And volume on Friday was very strong. There were headlines that came out, very positive. Our next chart up is OPI. This is a REIT. And here's a weekly chart. I mean, this is pretty. This is really, really pretty. Now, as I overlay the automated support levels and resistance levels, you can see that we do have resistance above right here at around $29 per share on a weekly time frame. We did break out last week. Very strong breakout. Volume could have been a little bit better. I will say that. Now, if and when we do break out above this resistance level at 29, the algorithms are saying we have a long way to go before we hit resistance. Because these two resistance levels above here, again, click of a button, you can see that we're looking at a possible price target of the mid-30s on OPI. So from a risk-reward perspective, OPI is looking pretty good. And plus, it yields over 7%. So I like the chart technically. And look, I just added in dashed line on a weekly chart, monthly resistance. You could see that we have resistance right at the highs of last week. So be careful here. Valuable information. Let's do a deeper dive to a daily chart. There's that monthly resistance above. I want to know two things. One, the automated trend lines are picking off support below, which is our breakout point. I want to know if we touch or bounce, but we want to stay small because remember, if we get the pullback, that's a great risk-reward entry point. We want to stay small so that if it fails to hold, we stop out with a small loss. No big deal. Now, if we begin to break out above this monthly resistance level, that is really good stuff. And you can see I'm using monthly resistance on a daily chart, multi-time frame analysis. Very powerful stuff. I don't want any sensitivity. And we're going to keep this active for 30 days. And there we go. So OPI looking very strong. Good volume Thursday, Friday. Let's check out seasonality. This is data going back 10 years. June is a very strong month. In fact, June is the best month of the year, up 70% of the times for OPI. So very attractive. One of my favorite stocks or REITs moving into the new trading week. Folks, I'll be sending out alerts to members if and when I execute trades on any position that I have, including these trades that I went over. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, enter your email address in one of the opt-in emails below to get my 5-part video tutorial on my favorite candlestick patterns. And you also get alerted of when we go live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you join the Contrarian Trader, TrendSpider, you get free with our silver and gold level memberships. The value you receive as a trader is my perspective on the market. I am not a mockingbird for CNBC. I give you my perspective, and it's usually pretty goddamn good perspective as well. So in the members area, you'll see the week ahead commentary. Go check that out. 14-day free trial offer. Again, you get TrendSpider, all of my trade alerts, my insight, my commentary that you're not going to get anywhere else. Thanks for joining in. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Be well.